Hello, everybody. How you doing in diaspora? This is CleverNet TV, and this is your boy ugotuvijames. And today on Be Inspired, are you inspired wherever you are? How's life treating you? I hope you're not giving up because we are here to inspire you with another story, another edition, another untold story from one of our leading DJ, entrepreneur, businessman, and a man who has brought himself from nothing to something all the way in South Africa. And he's here with us live on CleverNet TV. Everybody, make some noise as I introduce to you Bryan Berry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet Bryan Berry, please. Bryan Berry, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Great, 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 great. Awesome. It's so good to have you out of your busy schedule. You are here, and you find time to join us. Well done. Thank you for being part of the program.
Thank
Even
you.
though even though it was a short notice, but you responded. This is what we talk about. People who respond with action and inspire people. Thank you for doing that. Well done. So
Thank you.
Bryan, let's jump into it. Who is Bryan Berry? Let's get to meet you properly.
Well, Bryan Berry is a person that's met in love with God, number one. Number two, God's always been his inspiration. He's always followed the footsteps as closely as possible, and he's always tried to have a helping hand to other people out there. But my talents in it also arised in DJing and playing music since I was 12 years old. I basically ended up teaching myself how to play. I ended up getting involved in sound engineering at a very young age as well. And I started basically playing around in the industry from a young age.
Mm,
It was a very cutthroat industry. And the thing is, here in South Africa, there are certain outlets where you can have various opportunities in that. But the
yeah.
thing is, for growth and potential, it's very cutthroat. So the industry is pretty tight in that regard. I've been in the film industry for many years ago. I was working behind the scenes actually, where I was a co-producer for a couple of international um, films and that. That was in my younger day. But for me, the music was what actually still grabbed me. And not only is it a hobby, it's just something that I love doing. I generally like playing and bringing a story within my sets so that people can actually experience the emotion and then be part of their whole festivity as we put it together on
Mm,
stage. Other than that, I'm also in working in business. I'm a project manager, a senior project manager, where I work at one of the top banks in South Africa, keeping me very busy as well. Um,
mm,
and other than that, it's just been from struggling to get a form of a position to being able to work was a great achievement in itself. There was a period in my life where I couldn't even get particular work for 4 years. I struggled with to get ends meet. My wife and I we ended up carry on going with the church, and luckily the church that we were with supported us in those 4 years as we supported the church as well.
yeah.
I've always known that if you want to get anywhere in life, always think of what brought you here in the first place. What is your
Yeah.
purpose here? What do you need to do here? And once you've understood that, go out and do it. And you'll understand that when you're doing it, you're aligning yourself to where God wants you to be at the same time as doing what He needs you to do to fulfill a particular purpose that He needs you to
Yeah.
fulfill out.
Yes.
And the thing is, there's a lot of conversations that have been had across the various industries as well as personal and with friends and that, where we've had a sit down and we basically spoke about God. And 99.9% of the time, no matter where we're at, one of
Yeah.
the conversations that always comes up is our Father.
Yeah.
What has our Father done? Where are you? Where, where's your road? What are you doing? What are you struggling with? Have you asked
Yeah.
Him to help you? Have you actually applied for that help that He's given you to your life?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, there's a saying where I've always said is if you want to be the best, you'll be the best when you're walking in the footsteps and in his footsteps. And then you'll see how the world basically opens up and
Yeah,
sees you as the light that you need to be so that
yeah,
you can inspire other people to be better in their lives and
yeah,
be able to continue with their journey and
yeah,
be successful at what they do.
yeah.
And yeah, so that's basically what I
But
really, really
that's
feel like.
where, right, that's where it's very tough for a lot of people because that place is very tough for people
Yep,
to go through that journey because it's not easy to inspire
that's not.
people, to encourage people. Some people will betray you. Some people may not appreciate your effort. Some people will not appreciate you for doing that. But nevertheless, when maybe one or two people, remember in the Bible where he healed the leprosy people, and there were two, I mean, four of them, they were quickly to forget that somebody healed them.
Correct.
You get that?
Correct.
But
Correct.
one person remembered and said, no, somebody took time to cleanse us of whatever leprosy. Let me go and say thank you. And that's the problem
Correct.
we have with human beings. The problem with human beings is that they're quick to forget.
Yeah, and also it's not just being forgetful. It's some people tend to be a little bit more selfish, saying it was them, when it
Yeah,
wasn't them. It was him, and they forget
it
to
was up
actually
there.
say thank you to who actually healed them. And I mean, Jesus always walks with us. He's always amongst us. And sometimes you feel him closer, and sometimes he's not. It doesn't feel that close. But when it's not that close, he's actually closest to you.
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't understand that, but they're very quick to be encompassed around what's happening within the world than understanding what's happening here. Where are you going?
where are you going? Yeah, we need to
What is
understand
your
that at all
journey?
time.
Yes, correct. And for me, it's like
On
I've
Brian,
always
on that note, no, go on. You'll finish up.
yeah. So and for me, it's like I've always been humble in the sense of saying, okay, where are we going with this? Where do you want me to go? So that I can have the understanding of what he wants me to do.
Mm,
Because not only sometimes when I play the music, if you actually listen to what I'm playing, it's very upbeat. Yes, it is techno, but there's also certain lyrics in there. There's always there's a particular movement that happens within what I play, which is basically brings you together as a wholeness in one. And we're not doing that. I'm trying to actually say, right, you here with me, I'm going to
mm,
take you on a journey. But the way that
interesting.
I can take you on that journey is I need you to leave the stress behind.
Yeah,
And that one moment that you with me on the dance floor, that's the one moment where you're stress free. There's no
yeah,
stresses in your mind, there's no stress around you, and you can just be you.
exactly.
And that's it. You actually become you. And that's what I strive for when I play. I play so that I can touch you in a way that you are free from all the stresses, but you are you. No one else
Exactly.
but you.
Exactly. On that note, I want to ask you quickly, who inspires your DJing? What inspires your DJing or the way you, because you explained it now and it sounds very, very deep. What inspires that? And how would you describe the way you create your music to reach out to souls and bring them to be themselves?
Yeah, I've basically followed quite a lot of DJs in my
Just move
life,
back a
and
bit, move back a bit. You're out of the you're out of the, so move back a bit so that you're in the frame.
is
Yes,
that
there.
better?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah. Okay, so I've basically been following quite various DJs and that for many years. I've looked at the top international DJs. I've looked at what was local. I've just basically seen what magic they're trying to bring in and what they're doing. But for me, it was I don't want to just be like them. I want to be different. I want to be something much more and be more effective in what I'm doing in bringing people together and also being able to get you to just be stress free in that. And it's something that has come a long, long journey since I've been a child. I've been trying to get that right, and it's still when you're walking with God, you try your best to fulfill all those shoes. But those are big shoes, eh? But the thing is, it's always with His guidance
Mm.
that you get to where you need to be. So when I go go play, it's always, you'll find that I'll go spend some time by myself where I'm just praying and I'm just being in the moment with Him, and then I step onto the stage and then I go. And
Mm.
then basically, it's not just my hands, it's Him guiding my hands and basically saying, let's go and let's work together.
Mm.
And that's basically what I basically do there.
Wow, interesting. That's interesting.
And
So,
that's
moving
why,
forward, I'm going to ask you quickly. What is your creativity process like? How does it take to create or to become creativity in your playing time or before you play? Because I think
no,
this is where a lot of talents don't understand it.
my creativity starts, say, in the first half hour of the set when I start playing, then my mind wants to go into creative mode. Me, I don't practice sets prior. So I don't walk in with a set ready to go, because the thing that I found is, in doing that, you don't know what that person is playing before you. And plus, you need to understand what's actually happening. Where's the momentum going? So I never create sets before I play. I create my sets there on the DJ box, right there, and
Mm.
basically bring it together. Because in that sense, I can follow the crowd. I can follow where the DJ is taken, and I take it from there and I move it up and bump it up. And then I basically take it over and create my own and inject my own emotions in that and storyline in there.
Yes,
And
yes.
also depending on what you do with the sound. Um, a lot of people don't understand the difference between what a DJ does and what a sound engineer does. But if you can understand how the two actually complement each other at that point in time in that event, and how you can basically play around with the various EQs that you have and the mixer and stuff, the sound that you can produce out there and send out there can be greatly different
Mm.
to what other people do. It's a matter
Yeah,
of knowing how you use the sound waves so that you're able to be transparent in your message that you're trying to bring through.
yeah. And you being a sound person, and that you being a sound person, you are very particularly about sound. Your job is sound. So when you hear a particular thing that is not right, you get concerned. Okay.
Yes.
Now, on that note, which artist or DJ or personality would you like to partner in the DJ system of the world?
Well, there's quite a couple there. There are quite a few. There's a couple of DJs from Drum Code, like the Adam Bayers and obviously the Charlotte DeVette. Unfortunately, one of our dearest DJs had passed away a couple of years ago, which was Tony DeVette. But he was also SA born, but very, very well known. He was one of the DJs that I really looked up to at
Mm.
the time as well. Brilliant, brilliant guy. Um, and then obviously it's also, I want to take a look at the newer talent that's coming out here. So I mean, you'll find that most of the tracks that I play, they're not just your first top 100 tracks in the world. It's
Mm.
what's the new talent bringing in? What new talent is out there? Let's take a look at that and bring that into perspective. Let's see what we can do with it, the stuff that they're bringing in, and how we can build a set from that. That will be something of a storyline. So
Okay.
there's one of the new guys that are out there, Balco, which is Italian producer. He's quite good. Um, yeah, I actually enjoy quite a bit of his music there. But I mean, there's various sort of DJs that I wouldn't mind partnering up with.
So would you like mentioning like one or two that particularly you would like to do projects with?
Yeah, the two that I would love to do projects with would be Balco, that I just mentioned, and the other one would be Sam Pagani. which is he's been around for TikTok for quite some time. Brilliant,
Yeah,
brilliant guys. Yeah,
yeah,
and also Pig and Dan as well.
exactly. All right, that's interesting. All right, okay. On this note, we're gonna go on a quick short break, and when we come back, we will continue with Bryan Berry on the Untold Story on Being Inspired. Don't go away, everybody. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
Clevenard in Diaspora Television is an internet online TV service. What sets us apart is a unique combination of hit African content, first and exclusive international free movies, series, musics, news, events, documentaries, tourism, teleshopping shows, youth TV programs, and live interviews. Clevenard Diaspora Television is available throughout sub-Saharan Africa and to the diaspora markets worldwide. Take your entertainment with you wherever you go. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, smart TV, depending on your device. Watch free movies with Clevenard Movies Television. Stop searching for free movies websites and watch Clevenard Movies Television. Watch your favorite African shows anywhere at any time. Don't forget to check out our top 5 TV channels created to get you informed. TV1, Clevenard in Diaspora Television. TV2, Clevenard Youth Television. TV3, Clevenard Movies Television. TV4, Clevenard Teleshopping Television. TV5, Clevenard Tourism Television. To start watching, sign up at www.clevenard.com and follow the easy steps. Once you're done, log into the Clevenard website or app on your device, click on any one of our 5 TV channels, and hit play. We will be very satisfied and happy to welcome you to our team as one of our new business partners. Contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy ugotuvijames on Be Inspired. I hope you are inspired wherever you are in diaspora. We say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on in diaspora. Actually, we are right here. We're transmitting live from South Africa. And today I have on the show one of the best DJ in South Africa, not just in South Africa, in the world, not just a DJ, an entrepreneur, a CEO, and a businessman. Right here on Be Inspired to talk to us and to inspire us how to be better and tell us his untold story. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Bryan Berry. Bryan Berry, well, thank you for back again. Yeah, we were sharing with you. I want to quickly ask you, what motivates you to work harder in life? A lot of people don't feel motivated anymore. People are giving up. People are committing suicide. Artists, business people, wife, girlfriends, boyfriends. But what motivates you to keep going and to keep pushing in life?
For me, it's more of a personal thing. I've always wanted to give my best at all times, and what motivates me is, to be honest with you, lately has been my little daughter. I mean, just the way that she is, the self-will that she has, the peace that she has within her. It's like, wow. And she just strives for things. She just goes, and she takes everything at its own step at a time. And she reminds me a lot of what I was like when I was a child as well. Is you got to take life a step at a time in your own stride, not other people's stride, your own stride. But also, where's your full inspiration coming from? There's a lot of people that say, no, well, these people actually inspire you. Has anybody thought about how does God inspire you? How did Jesus inspire you? How does his walk in life actually inspire you? And that's what I basically look on is my inspiration mainly comes from him. It's to be able to have the peace of mind, to be able to know that I'm fulfilling his purpose, but I'm also able to reach out to certain people and assist them when they are in trouble. There have been a lot of times while I'm busy playing or I'm out and about where I bump into people that are struggling. And it's just a very kind word. And it's that kind word that helps them to understand things and motivates them to be able to go out and sort out whatever their problems are and
Exactly.
able to then strive forward. And all it takes is a little bit of kindness and just a little bit of listening. And you'll notice that some people just want somebody to hear them, to listen to what they're saying. Not necessarily just give them advice, but just to listen so that they can basically just tell their story, get that story off their chest, get that opportunity to be able to just let go. And then after that, when they ask, do you ask the questions, what do you think? Then you can basically say, well, have you tried? Have you tried this solution? Or have you tried that? Have you thought about this? But have you thought about how he wants you to try and work through that using his ways and means? And that's where that conversation will start getting a bit more deeper into to going and walking with Jesus and how he'll actually help you to get over that river that you're battling with. And for me, it's always my eyes are always on him, and I just try and fulfill his calling where he says and where he puts me at that time. So my inspiration comes solely from him.
Wow. Chester, Bryan, you inspire me already. See, I'm just listening and part of even though I'm the host of this show, I feel very when I hear people like you share what you share now, I feel very actually inspire myself because this is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me to be ahead of myself, wake up every morning with excitement, with enthusiasm to go do something new, inspire other people and everybody. Thank you so much for sharing that. What is your definition of success?
What's the definition of
Success. When you say
success?
success.
My definition of success is knowing that I've achieved the very thing that I've set my mind to do. In other words, I've put a goal out there to be able to bring people together so that they can have a great time on the dance floor, but also to do that in a spiritual sense where I've stripped away all your stresses of the world that are surrounding you. In that very minute, it's just you, yourself, and the music, and you just enjoying it. So for me, it's a great honor to be able to do that, to be able to bring it to a stage and to be able to show people how you can do that and how you bring those people together to such a point where when they leave, they're like, wow, that was great. And I needed that and I feel refreshed. And the thing is, for me, success is always strive to do your best at what you do. And if you had to fail, understand that failure isn't just a failure. The failure is, how can I do it better next time? How can I succeed or how can I achieve it to be better the next time I go and approach it? Never look as a failure as that it's a washout. No. Look at the failure as, okay, it didn't work in that particular way for a particular reason. Let's see what was that reason and let's capitalize on that reason so that you can catapult yourself above it and then become successful when you understand what that was. So it's like taking something negative, and there's always a little positive within that negative, something there that you can utilize and use as a stepping stone so that negativity now becomes a positivity, and it's the way that you change it around. So for me, it's always striving to do your best and just understand that, yes, there are failures in life, but don't look at it as failures. Look at it as a stepping stone.
They only motivate you to be better and better if you are hungry.
Correct. You just keep striving. Keep striving and be determined, but ensure that your eyes are open wide and that you don't have tunnel vision. Open them wide and basically put yourself through the paces so that you can understand it. Beautiful. And also ask for the success in his name, because when you do that, it will come to you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Moving on, What is new with Bryan Berry? What are we expect? What is the expectation from Bryan Berry for 2023? 2022 is coming to an end.
2023, it's Brian wants to take on the world on the stages and bring his sound to the various areas internationally at some point in 2023. We're still busy trying to see how we're going to map it out. I want to basically start doing certain events locally here, where we're able to bring certain international
Yeah,
DJs, and that
yeah,
you can collaborate with them
exactly.
to make the show.
We start creating the events now.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
because
we can
events
basically
unite people. Events brings people together. It brings ideas and
correct,
everybody together. That's one of the
correct.
things we're gonna discuss when we have our bride. Remember,
Yes,
I told you on Sunday that uh, you have a team in me in terms of work wise. And then
yes.
when we sit down, we strategize on how to really, really synchronize because there must be a reason why God allowed you to meet me. There must be a reason why God allowed me to meet you. I'm thinking there's something he's planning. He has a plan.
Of course, he has a plan. He
Yeah, he has a
definitely
plan.
does have a plan. So for me,
Yeah.
it was always the idea that I've always had about doing a particular event was yes, we're bringing on the international DJs and that, but there's a difference. We want the international DJs to be part of the production in the sense of, okay, let's hear what their ideas are. Let's take our ideas and let's calibrate them together
Mm,
so that we can bring something that's completely different to the table.
yeah.
Something new, something fresh, and something that's just out of this world.
Yeah. Something that is out of this world. Yes, that's true. I agree with you with that. Well done. Well done. So we look forward to that. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we meet. Moving forward. You spoke about God. You spoke about encounter with, or not encounter, but you know this God. I want to. Can you share with us when did you encounter Him and how did you get to know God? Because not many people out there believe in God, and they don't know there's a higher power beneath them. They just think life is just a garbage in, garbage out. Please, can you share this God you have to for them to understand that they need to understand the higher power of their
Yeah.
life?
So there's a story that my grandmother and mother told me when I was born. And at that stage, my father was in the Anglo-Boer War, the Anglo War upstate, there in Angola, sorry. And on the day of my birth, apparently, while my mother was birthed in the bath, the angel appeared. And since then, I've basically known that I've always been close to God since a baby. And I've never lost sight of that. I've never lost sight of him and who he was. So I've was blessed at a very young age to know Jesus and also to I went to various Sunday schools. I also carried on. And the funny thing is, you remember when you were back in school back in the old days, we had IR or religious studies in that. That was the one subject that had the neatest handwriting. That everything was colorful. I could recite verses, but my interest there was more powerful there than what it was anywhere than the rest of my schoolwork.
Mm,
And I carried on, even though that I did do okay in my schoolwork, but my hunger to know him was more greater. I understood what he needed. I understood who he was from a very young age. And yes, I mean, I've gone down a bad track where I made bad choices in my life. And, you know, we're all human beings. We've done that. But as long as you own up in the mistakes that you've done and you rectify them and you move on.
mm,
But then when you move on walking in the light.
mm,
And the thing is, for me, was I've never lost sight of him. Um, I've always known he was there. But there's certain things that he does want me to do. There's a lot of the talents that I have that he's given me. One of them is discernment for people. And that's the time where he actually asked me to actually assist people
yeah.
and go speak to them. And I basically, without really talking to them much, I can actually tell where they are in their life. And all of a sudden, it's just he's brought us together, and they basically just talk to me about it, and then we try and guide them. And there's been a lot of people that I've guided in the clubs and that to our father, where they've actually left and they haven't returned to the club, but they are fully into God, and they're going to church, they're doing their thing, and they're doing very well. They're doing exceptionally well. But there's part and parcel of the journey where I know what all he wants is for humanity, for us, his creations, to just love him and understand who he is. Take the noise away that everybody's put out there, and just go sit down and meet with him and talk to him. Everybody has a channel to him, and it's your mouth. And it doesn't stop you from having to talk to him. I mean, you are able to go and sit down in your garden and have a full-on conversation. You might not respond to you right there and then, but there's something's going to happen in the next day or two that you get your response. And it might be by seeing a bird or sorts, that's just the movement or whatever they do, or there's something, or somebody comes to your life and says something.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you had this conversation with them, but all of a sudden this person talks to you about that very conversation.
Yeah.
There are various ways that he channels himself through other things to you so that you can meet him and understand him. But for me, it's always about give him the opportunity to be in your life fully, completely, wholly, not bits and pieces. Understand him completely.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's the key point of our life, that we understand our creation, and not just. And there's this thing they say that the spirit controls your physical. So a lot of people are not aware of their spiritual side, which is the side of we're talking about now. And when things are going error, you need to go check your spiritual side. What's happening there?
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of battles that we're fighting spiritually that some of us are not even aware of. Spiritual battles from your father's generation to generation to generation to you right now. So it's something that we need to pay attention to, and then and you know, and live a life of fulfillment. Live a life of fulfillment.
If you want to win a spiritual, or if you want to win a war that's within yourself, first go fight it spiritually.
Yeah.
Win it spiritually, because that's when it manifests in the physical. It always starts in the spiritual, and then it filters down into the physical.
Exactly.
So go fight it in the spirit, own it, conquer it, win it in his name, and then you've won it. And then you just wait and watch, because it's got to pan out. Like if you had to take Revelations now and you see what's happening in the world, for instance, we are in the end times. It's there. It's clear. But he's always said, in the spirit, the warfare starts, and it will end in the physical, because it's got to taper down, and it's got to manifest this way. So he's already won the war.
Yeah.
We already won. We've always been victorious, but people don't think that. And it's just a mindset that you need to get them to think about. You are victorious. You are great. You are powerful. You are wonderfully designed by him.
Exactly.
So who can stand against you? No one. But why do we allow things to stand against him? It's because we lost that chain of thought of who we really are and what we actually stand for.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful to hear. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit. Sometimes I like to ask people, you know, if people do, what's your favorite scripture that you stand on constantly that empowers your heart to keep going in this journey?
Yeah, I think it's Psalm 32. I walk through the valley of death.
Is it Psalm 23?
Yeah.
The earth is of
Psalm
the Lord.
23, Psalm 23, yeah.
Yeah, the earth is of the Lord and the fullness thereof. The earth is of the Lord and the fullness thereof.
Yes.
The spirit of the God thunders like a thunder upon the earth. You know, I like that scripture actually. You know, it tells me actually, I was reading that scripture this morning. I read it this morning, and it just because I was a little bit down. I was feeling a little bit down. Like, me, I like to work hard, and then sometimes I feel like, but why are things not coming together? What's going on? What's going on? So I thought, okay,
And,
let me just, let me just pray and then God gave me
and,
something. Yeah.
and then
So I read
there's
it, then
another.
I understood, then I canceled my spirit. So likewise, everybody that's going out there, people are going through a lot of challenges right now,
Yes.
and the life out there is tough. So that's why your inspiration now touch many lives out there. And I thank you for sharing this. It's actually very powerful. Yeah, you wanted to finish it up.
Yeah, so that's the one verse. And the other verse for me is his love for us. If you go to Corinthians 13, I think it is, it basically describes his love for us and what love should be. And the fact that his love for us is unconditional. No matter what you've done, no matter how you do it, he still loves you, regardless.
Mm.
And that for me is also one of my favorite verses as well. That I like leaning on as well is, you know, there was a time in my life where I sat and I actually looked at a mate of mine. He was a very good friend. He's actually like a brother to me, Dave Silver. He was in a car accident. We almost lost him.
Mm.
And at that stage, he was also very much in tune with God. He was a pastor. Things were going quite well, but he ended up having this car accident that almost took him away from us. And we go to the same church sometimes. And I sat there one day and I'm like, what is unconditional love? And at that stage, Dave went to go and actually talk on the pulpit at the time. And I just sat back and when I asked the question, and I just saw this light beam down over because he's got an amazing testimony
Mm.
of what happened in the car accident and how he came back. And the light
Wow.
just shone on him. And when I looked at him, I was like, wow, so that is what it is. And when I looked at it, when I said that, it's like the message was, it's the same that I have for
Yeah.
you. It doesn't change for anybody else. It's
Wow.
all the same. I love you the same as the very next person with the same love, and it's unconditional, and I do it in the same way. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. You know? So, I mean, yes, there's times where you feel a little disconnected, but when you feel disconnected, that's when he's walking closer to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Moving forward. Moving forward. What is it? We're not. Is there any 6 facts about you about Bryan Berry that you would like to share with the world? Like 6 facts, or 2 facts, or 3 facts, or whatever fact. How many facts about you in particular that you want the listeners, the viewers, everybody connected to you around the world to know about Bryan Berry, South African top DJ?
So, Brian is not only a DJ or a businessman, but he's also a family man.
Yeah.
And I've got a great love for my family. I've got a huge family. I've got a zoo, is what I call it. So I've got many kids, and a lot of the other part of the inspirations comes from them as well. But I've been blessed. I've been blessed by God in the sense of the family that I have and the people that He surrounded me with.
Mm.
So that's one thing. The other thing is I always strive to be the best that I can be as a human being, and I always listen to those that are in need. The other factor is that I can get a little bit crazy at times, especially when I'm playing. I basically love bringing different sound together and bring a different perspective to things and open that door that basically just puts everything in a little nutshell. So when you're on the dance floor, that's what happens each and every time, as you've experienced it sometimes. And then, yeah, I'm a very caring, God fearing, God loving, and I'm just love being able to be me. without any attachments, any hooks, I'm just me. I'm free to be me. And that's it.
Wow, beautiful. Beautiful to know that. Thank you. Beautiful to know that. What an amazing way to have facts about you. Wow, that's nice. All right, we're going to go on a second break, and when we come back, we will continue with Bryan Berry as we round off everything on the Auto Story. Please stay tuned. Don't go away. We will be right back.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard blog and event posting. Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard blog and events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind-the-scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard blogs and events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back on Be Inspired with Cross Ugotuvijames. Yes, I'm sure you're having a great time with Bryan Berry on the show. I hope you've been inspired. All right. So let's round off as we get to finish with Bryan Berry. All right, Bryan Berry, you're still here. Thank you for staying tuned. And while we went on break, yeah. So we want to know, Bryan Berry, where were you born? We want to know your story a little bit. Where was Bryan Berry born?
Brian was born in Durban. I'm a Durbanite. You can call me from the banana country. I was born there in 1997. At that stage, the Kingsmead Hospital was Mother's Hospital. And then we moved up, my folks moved up here to Joburg when I was about 3 years old. But I always loved Durban. It's my hometown. I had lots of family there, but now they've all gone overseas. Some of them are there in England, Scotland, and Australia. And then the other part of the family is here somewhere in Joburg. And the thing is, for me, my favorite places that I like being is to Drakensberg. For me, is a very special place. And also the Kalahari Desert seems to be a very, very special place. So I get called there quite a lot for some reasons. I remember when I was young, my great-grandmother used to have a farm, Markham's Drive, there in the Kalahari. It was just before the border of Namibia. And yes, it used to get very, very hot there. But these farms were huge. I mean, they're massive. You could basically, takes you 3 days to just get one side to the other side. And you had all sorts of buck, you had all sorts of wildlife on there. It was beautiful out there. Beautiful.
Wow.
So the other part of me is like, I do love being in nature. I just I really do. I love being in nature. So every time now and again, I'll take a break. I'll go out into the game farms. I'll go and disappear into the bush, take the family with me, and just get rejuvenated, you know. And it's just the sea and the bush. They just tend to bring me back towards myself in need be. you know? Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely a Durbanite through and through, and rugby supporters,
Interesting.
shots.
Interesting. Are you married?
I got an amazing marriage, beautiful marriage. I got a most beautiful wife, most supportive. I mean, this God's really blessed me with somebody special.
No. That one I know for sure. I've seen her a couple of times with you, and she's very, very inspiring. Not just to
She's
you,
fantastic.
to people that you connect with. She also
Yeah,
inspires to, wow, what an
yeah, no, she
amazing
does.
human being she is. She's a superhuman being. I mean, I'm like, it takes energy and insight to be the kind of person you are. Do you know that?
Yeah,
People don't understand.
yeah, yeah.
It takes energy and insight to be the kind of beautiful person you are.
That's
No,
true. It's
your
true.
wife is amazing. Your wife is amazing. I
Ah,
just want to
she,
know the world. Yeah.
yeah, no, she's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then we got, like I said, we got quite a bit of kids here as well, and they're all special in their own unique ways. But together as a family, they're all great. They're awesome, absolutely awesome. And then the little princess is the one that has everybody around their little pinkies. You know how the little girls are.
All right. On that note, I would like to ask you, where's your favorite family vacation?
The Drakensberg is my favorite family vacation. Um, I've been all over the Berg since I was a child. I remember my parents taking me down there on most of my holidays when I was a kid. If it wasn't Durban, it was the Drakensberg. But the Drakensberg is a very special place for me. I really love it there. The beauty that's in those foothills and what is there is it's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you want to drink fresh water straight out of the river, there's this place called Stagfontein. So it's in the Drakensberg, in the heart of the Drakensberg. You
Hmm.
can drink directly out of that river because all the stones and everything basically filters that water. But it's the most freshest water you've ever tasted anywhere. I mean, I've got a borehole here, and that's pretty fresh. But that water is it's insane,
Amazing.
and it's cold, cool,
I know
but
exactly
it's
what you're
beautiful.
saying. I know exactly what you said. The waters that come out of the rock, they taste amazing.
It does.
They have
It's
amazing
great.
different taste, man. I've
It is.
experienced that in my village. I remember when I was young, my dad would take us whenever we have school holidays to go visit the grandparents at the village. Wow. That is when I experienced water from the rock.
Yeah.
The taste. Yeah. Taste is divine.
Related
Well
to
done.
that,
All right.
it's like a similar story. Like you're going back into your village, into the mountains where you can taste the water. I
Yeah.
mean, for me,
Yeah.
that's exactly like it was for me when I go to the Berg.
Yeah.
It's just that's a very special. It's as though, and I strongly believe that this country and Africa is actually God's country.
Yeah.
It's His country, and that's why we have all the minerals. We have everything. This place is a breadbasket to the world, and there's so many things that we can do here in this country
Exactly.
and within the continent that we can basically showcase a completely different Africa that the world has never known.
Mm, mm. True. If you could live anywhere, let's say you have a chance to relocate or move anywhere else, where could that be? Apart from South Africa.
Sure, that's a tough question because I don't, I wouldn't actually leave South Africa to be honest. That's how beautiful it is here. Um, hmm, I would. Let's think about this. If I had to go out of South Africa, I'd probably go into the North Africa to go
Mm,
experience different cultures in North Africa and go experience what it is, what's there, um, just the way of life, what's in that place that makes it so special.
mm.
So for me, it's like I wouldn't really want to leave the continent as alone because there's just so many other beautiful places. I've been to Angola, and I thought when I went there in 2000, and I flew over Luanda. I was like, wow. I mean, that green rich forest that's there that you fly over. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And then when you land and you go, when you go into the strip where you can actually sit on the strip. On the one side, you've got the harbor. The other side, it's just sea. And you sit there and there's a whole lot of restaurants on that strip where you can go and just enjoy. And it's so peaceful. It's so beautiful. And I think that a little bit north, there are more beautiful places as well. So there's those Portuguese islands that's on I think the west side. Yeah. There's also an area that I'd like to go and explore. But relocate, I think I'd stay in South Africa.
All
South
right.
Africa is my
All right.
place.
Okay. All right. Good to know that. Good to know that. We'll round it off now. We just want to know quickly, do you have any fears at all? And what is it?
I've actually faced most of my fears. So, yeah, at this point in time, I wouldn't say I've got a fear. There are little health struggles that I do have. But I do know that it's going to come under control. I know that it's going to get fixed. I've put my faith in Father above that issue is going to get resolved. And I do pray about that. But other than that, it's the only thing that my fear for my father is the love that I have for him. So yeah, I'm practically almost a fearless man because I've just put everything in his hands.
Any experience you would like to share with us? Like any good experience, bad experience you would like to share with us?
And so early on, I alluded to the 4-year struggle that my wife and I had, where we both actually not had work. What we did there was we relied heavily on our Father, on Jesus. And there were times we had to negotiate certain things with our landlords at that time. We were heavy in debt. And there were times where we thought, oh, well, you know what, we're going to lose the house. We're going to lose this. We're going to lose basically everything that we had. And I was just looking at my wife, and she was also like pretty much afraid then. And I'm like, you know what? Why are we so afraid? Why are we allowing this to be this way? Why don't we put everything that we got into our Father? Let's give it to Him. And I can guarantee you now that in a few months' time, we will be out of the situation that we're in, and we'll start our walk into a successful environment, in a successful house, and successful life. And the funny thing was, she was the first one that got the first job, okay? And that was about 4 months after that conversation.
Yeah.
6 months, about 3 months after she received a job, I landed my position. Now, I went and I put a benchmark down on what my earnings would be, and so forth. And at one stage, my wife's like, no, but you got to go get anything. And I'm like, no, I'm putting all my faith here. I went to an interview. I never asked they never asked me for the salary. When they presented the salary that they were going to give me, it was exactly the salary that I benchmarked, that I put on the table, and I said, Father, this is where I peg my ground.
Yes.
And it was exactly to the T.
Wow. What an amazing God we serve. We serve a great God. Well done.
Praise Him. It's all to Him. And from there, it's just been the same. We've just been walking. And I mean, she's just been blessed now. And she at once says, oh, it's like, no, leave it into His hands and you'll see. And she was blessed. She's been blessed in the new role that she's in. It's absolutely wonderful. And I'm like, you see, praise Father. Again, He's delivered. And it's just because why? Because we've given him that opportunity to move in our lives the way that he wanted to move, and basically take us to the places where he wanted us to go.
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
So for
Amazing.
me, like I say, my inspiration is our Father in heaven. He's always been.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. On that note, any any message to someone out there right now that is going through horrific time, that is feeling downcast, no hope for Christmas? I mean, just don't know where they're going to go from now on. Any message for them?
Sure. The message that I have is basically this: that don't worry. We are not meant to worry about these things that are around us. Place your worries on our Father and have faith that you will come out of it. The hope lies within you and yourself. You need to be able to have that hope, and you don't just hope it, you believe that it's going to happen. You believe that it is there, that you want is yours. As long as it's in our Father's will, it will be yours. But believe in it. Have faith of that little mustard seed, because I can tell you what, you are able to move all the mountains that you need to out of your own life using that faith and letting our Father just have the opportunity to move in your own life and take you on the journey and allow. Be courageous. Ask for the wisdom that you need. Just because you don't get something right now, go ask for that wisdom so that you can understand it better. And He will give you the wisdom and you'll figure it out. Always strive forward. Never look back. And just understand that He's always got you, no matter what. You might be going through difficult times now, but I can tell you now that in the near future, you're going to be out of this hole and you'll be climbing to the greater success and you'll be exactly where you need to be. So
Thank you.
keep your focus on Him at all times.
Keep your, you've heard it, everybody. Keep your focus at all time and keep your head up. Remember, He's always there with you in your journey, and keep your faith alive. Remember, you will come out of it no matter what, where you find yourself, situation, issues, trials, wherever that you find yourself going through. Know that with your faith and your perseverance, that you will come out on top. All right, everybody. We just want to ask Bryan one more question before we let him go. I know he's a very busy man. Bryan, please, where do we find you? Where do we get hold of you? And what's your Christmas message to people who are going to be celebrating Christmas out there?
Yes, my Christmas message is be blessed, stay safe, and be on God with yourself and what you do. Other thing that I say is you can find me on Mixcloud under Bryan Berry. You can also find me on SoundCloud, also under Bryan Berry. You'll see the two profiles there. That's where I basically put some music, some more mixes are there. Probably after next week, I'll do another mix that I'll drop. I tend to drop new mixes either quarterly or every 2 months or so. So what I like to do is I like to just do a nice little mashup, put it on there, and then people must go and enjoy and also have fun.
All right. Okay, everybody, that's it for us with Bryan Berry on Be Inspired. I know you have been inspired by his words, his stories, and everything he has shared with us. Bryan Berry would like to say thank you so much for taking out your time to be with us on the show. Be inspired. Thank you for all you've shared with us. Thank you for all your inspirational words. All we can say is that every time we hear of you, it will be good news. And we wish you all the best in all your endeavors. We pray that God will continue to strengthen you. God will continue to increase you and bless you abundantly. And every time we hear of you, like I said, it will be good news. It will be good news about Bryan Berry. Thank you so much for coming through. All right, everybody, it's just where we have to stop for today. And we'll see you on next edition. It's going to be exciting time every time. I told you, make sure you tune up, sign up, and make sure you're part of these shows because we're here to inspire you on your journey of life. All right, till I see you next time on the next show on Being Inspired. My name is Cross ugotuvijames. Stay tuned, stay care, be careful. Whatever you do, stay humble. Know that God is with you. And remember to pray. And remember, finally, what God cannot do does not exist. Take care, everyone. God bless you. Till I see you again. One love.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space.